Factsverse presents Airport security forces him to throw his package away. A random woman decides to help. Before we get into our video, what is your nightmare airline experience? Tell us in the comments. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Today, flying is a lot different than it was a few decades ago. Ever since the 9/11 tragedy, the FAA and the government have stepped up the security procedures. The rules and regulations when flying within the United States are very strict. Most people know that. They try to be as prepared as possible before they arrive at the airport. Unfortunately, there are still some things people just don't know, and that results in delays and other issues. Ivelisse Hernandez was taking a trip to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She was leaving from the St. Petersburg Clearwater Airport. Her boyfriend, Rico Bankson, was giving her a ride. It wasn't the first time that she was going to be flying, so she didn't expect anything out of the ordinary to take place. One of the most annoying parts about being at the airport is standing in line. Unfortunately, Ivelisse had her boyfriend with her, so at least she had somebody to talk to. While standing in line, the couple noticed that a bag inspection was taking a lot longer than it should have. The man whose bag was being searched was carrying a wrapped package. Well, the airport employee put it through the metal detector, and that's what was holding up the line. Well, the man was pulled aside, and that is what piqued Ivelisse's and Rico's interest. They started listening in on that heated conversation that was taking place at the front of the security line. When Rico accompanied his girlfriend to the airport, he wanted to make sure that she got through the boarding process okay, and he was going to leave and go about his day. He was hoping that there wouldn't be a delay, but, well, when this was happening at the front of the line, that wasn't going to make it possible. The man at the front of the line was having some trouble with his carry-on bag. There was an item inside that apparently was restricted, and the man seemed to be intent on taking it onto the plane anyway. The man argued his case, and he begged the agents to please let him take it on the plane, but they refused. The couple wondered what was in the wrapped package that was upsetting the man so much. Ivelisse and Rico thought maybe the man might have been trying to take something that's against TSA regulations onto the plane. Ever since 9/11, the rules have become pretty strict on what you can and cannot carry onto a plane, and they figured maybe the man just didn't know the object would not be allowed. Even if it wasn't a weapon or something dangerous, the TSA still is not going to let people bring certain objects onto a plane. Even something as simple as toothpaste can be rejected if it's over the allowed 3 liquid ounces. Rico and Ivelisse were trying to guess what the item the man was trying to bring on the plane was. Ivelisse and Rico, they were listening to what was happening at the front, and they could hear the man was asking the TSA agent if they could take the box to Lost and Found so that he could retrieve it later. The couple thought that, hey, that'd be a fair compromise, but no, the agents refused. They told him that if he was going to be allowed to board the plane, that he would have to throw the package away in a trash can nearby. Ivelisse looked at the man closely, saw that he was almost to tears. She felt terrible for the man. She was sure the package had to mean a lot for the man to go through all of this and fight for it. The man finally realized begging and pleading with a TSA agent isn't gonna work. With tears in his eyes, he threw the package away. The man was allowed to board the plane at that point, and the line started moving again. Ivelisse felt for the man, and when it was almost her turn in line, Ivelisse said goodbye to Rico and asked him to do a special favor for her first. If Ivelisse were going to help this man, she would need Rico's help. She didn't want to lose her place in line, so she asked her boyfriend to help her out with it. Before boarding the plane, she asked Rico to sift through the trash can and find out why the package was so important. Rico agreed, and Ivelisse boarded her flight. Since Rico wasn't traveling with Ivelisse, he didn't need to walk through airport security, so he didn't have any problem doing what his girlfriend asked. Since the package was in the trash on the other side of TSA security and it hadn't been hauled off by security for additional screening, Rico knew that there'd be no risk. He took the mysterious package from the garbage and left the airport. Rico headed home to Tampa, handling the package very carefully. He saw how important that package was to the man, so he wanted to handle it with care. During the entire flight to Pittsburgh, Ivelisse was shaken up about the way the TSA agents had treated this man, and she was dying to know what was in the package. Why was it so important? Fortunately, she would be able to find out when the plane landed. Finally, she was off the plane and heading out of the airport in Pittsburgh. She called Rico right away to find out what was in the package that was so important. When Rico got home, he opened the package right away, and just like his girlfriend, he wanted to know what was in the package too. When he opened it, Rico couldn't figure out what was so bad about the object. To him, it looked like just an ordinary trinket. It was a snow globe. Inside, there was a photograph of two people. Rico assumed it was the photo inside that made the snow globe so important and irreplaceable. When Rico turned the snow globe around, he saw the picture of an adorable little girl and a dog. When he wound up the globe, he discovered that it played Greensleeves. When Rico flipped the snow globe upside down, he saw a message that was engraved, and it read, "We love you, Katie, Nana, and Papa," along with the date of January 25, 2015. When Rico saw this, he was happy that Evelisa had asked him to take the package out of the trash. When she called Rico and he told her what was in the package, she was moved to tears. She couldn't believe the TSA agent wouldn't allow the man to bring such a meaningful gift onto the plane. So now the problem was how she could get it back to its rightful owner. Well, unfortunately, the snow globe only had those first names. There was no last names or addresses to help Evelise and Rico figure out who the snow globe belonged to. The only information they had was the owner that was traveling from the St. Petersburg Clearwater Airport on the same day as Evelise. The couple realized that if they were going to find the owner, they would have to get creative. The first thing Evelise did was log on to Facebook. She hoped that if she posted a photo of the snow globe and every detail she could think of, maybe somebody would know something about it. The couple knew that was a long shot, but they still had to start somewhere. Evelise didn't expect much at first, but she was shocked when she saw how many people her post reached. She was hoping that it'd be shared maybe 100 or 200 times. No. The pictures of that snow globe were shared over 48,000 times. She was sure with that much exposure, somebody would know who it belonged to. Well, Evelise finally got a message about the snow globe, but it wasn't from the man who was forced to throw it away. It was from an employee of the gift shop called Things to Remember. That was the store that made the snow globe. After several phone calls, the employees found out who bought the snow globe, and her name was Mrs. Linda Moody. She ordered the globe for her 5-year-old granddaughter, Katie. It was Katie's father who was forced to throw the globe away. Finally, Evelise could do what should have been done in the first place – make sure that snow globe made it to Katie. When Linda was contacted, she went to retrieve the daughter's snow globe. Linda was so excited and determined to get the snow globe back, she traveled through a tropical rainstorm to get to Evelise's house. Linda handed Evelise a bouquet of flowers and Evelise gave her the snow globe. Linda made sure everybody knew how kind Evelise was for what she did and brought a local news team with her to the house. The whole exchange was captured for viewers of the local news to see. Linda calls Rico and Evelise heroes. Had they not gone out of their way to retrieve that snow globe and then find her, it would have been lost forever. And a dear, dear loving present would never have made it to Katie. Subscribe for more.